We're playing Great Ace Attorney Chronicles, and we're basically, the jury has like unanimously voted not guilty, but for some reason there's more to it. So let's see what happens next. Well, my Nipponese friend. Me? When the carriage was submitted as evidence, doubtless you examined it in fine detail, as would any self-respecting practitioner of the law. Pray, what did you find the condition of the underseat compartment to be? It was empty. To be sure, the young gentleman will be able to clear this up in a jiffy. Sorry? Go ahead. You tell the court now, fella. How this is all an elaborate excuse by the desperate Lord Van Zeeks. This is really suspicious. I have bad feelings, red flags. Well, counsel, do you have something to say on this matter? How am I supposed to answer? What can I say about the state of that little compartment under the seat in the omnibus? It was empty. It was empty, yeah. Yes, I'm fairly sure it was empty. If I'm honest, my memory about all this is a little hazy. Wait, but it was empty. It seems, my lord, that this Eastern initiate has the scruples of a by-street wine merchant. What does that even mean? Mr. Naruhodo! Perfect. 'Tis why the fella's representing me, after all. He knows just what to say, does he not? Well now, it would seem the argument is moot. And the truth of the matter is, there for yous all to see, after all. That there cubbyhole under the seat is as empty as the devil's heart. So it is. How would you know? About the devil's heart, I mean. We can be sure of, at least. Why do I feel like something's not right here? I should like the jury to weigh in on this matter, I think. What are you drinking? That can't be legal. That compartment is designed to house equipment used to maintain the smooth running of the carriage. The Guild's rules state that omnibuses should be properly and fully equipped at all times, so it certainly wouldn't have been empty on the night in question. Beppo isn't that irresponsible. Oh no, that money-lending fleecer and the pick purse are lying. Oh no! Shoot. So close. Oh no, not him too. I can't believe I was nearly taken in. The stinkin' rich are always stinkers. Nothing but cowards, the lot of them. What? Oh no. It's a trick. Of course it's a trick. Whoops. Oh. Quite so. I must concur here. Oh, the music is so good. With calm, calculated reasoning, one arrives clearly at the truth every time. Yes, but every time a different truth, it seems. My lord, I humbly exhibit the scales of justice. Clearly, a verdict of not guilty at this time would be wholly inappropriate. Yeah, they're like equal right now. But before we proceed any further, there is the matter of the outstanding cross-examination. Counsel for the defense, begin your questioning of the witness, please. Yes, my lord, what just happened? The whole balance of the trial just shifted almost beyond recognition. The Reaper of the Bailey is at work, it would seem. Oh, snap. Oh, snap. Okay. Okay. So, I snuck inside the carriage before they hooked up the horses, just like always. Let's press her. Press her on that. Press everything. We're gonna press everything. So, you were already in the omnibus before it even set off on its run? Well, yeah, I mean, what's the point of spending a joey to make a few bob, eh? That's a rum idea, isn't it? What does that even mean? I suppose she means there's no point spending money to make money? It actually makes sense. Okay. Counsel, may I remind you that this girl is a petty thief? Kindly refrain from entertaining her tenants. Well, that does clear up the little mystery of the fares and all. 4 paying passengers at 5 pence apiece, making the 20 to which the cabin testified. And 1 little scapegrace riding for free. The red conch of a driver always goes for some grub before his last run, see? So that's when I slip into the carriage and get myself hidden under the seat. Nice and easy, right? But your hiding place is a storage compartment, full of equipment for the coach, no? She probably just took it all out. Yeah, there's brushes and buckets and whatnot in there, sure. I always chuck all that out and cram it in a corner somewhere. Yeah, she just takes it out. No one ever seems to bother much. And yet, according to the report filed by the police officer who first arrived at the scene, the compartment was full of such paraphernalia. Well, I don't know nothing about that. Like I said, I moved all that stuff out so I can hide under the seat. That's all I can tell you. It seems we've reached the end of that line of inquiry. Continue. Okay. But it was a right old waste of time. I got nothing to show for me troubles that night. I don't know. What? I'm just pressing it all. A waste of time. Why is that? Well, most nights I'm on my own in the God permit, at least some of the time. I beg your pardon. Did you say God permit? Oh yeah, well that's what my kind call it. You'd say the omnibus, I suppose. Why is it called a God permit? The point is, any normal run, the carriage ain't got no one in it for a while. And that's when you come out of your hiding place and get away? That's it. Only that night, something happened. This cove was sat on me seat from the start. And he didn't budge the whole way, did he? Not 1 inch. I was totally stuck. Do you mean to tell us that you were present in the carriage for the duration? You were under the seat the entire time while events unfolded in the enclosed cabin? Right you are. Right, mister? To be sure. I was as shocked as anyone. You didn't expect to lift the cushion you've been sat on and find a child now, do you? So this Miss Lestrade couldn't possibly be the culprit then. Yeah, then who did the stabbing? Okay, I'll tell you, you can't see a blind thing in that hiding place. It's pitch in there. Okay, so it's dark. So you couldn't see out into the cabin at all. Not a jot. Most days I push the cushion up with my head and look out the crack. Then I can have a butcher's at who I'm gonna fiddle. I thought you were a pickpocket, not a butcher. I mean, I have a look. The seat I get under ain't as plush as the other one, see? Most of the time, the passengers plant themselves opposite. Oh, but for some reason that night, this here Irishman spent the whole journey right over me head. And for that reason, you weren't able to push the cushion up to peek out, I see. Truth is, I ain't too happy in small dark places. Feels too much like being thrown in the clink. But it's the only place to hide them in carriages, so it's Aubyn's choice. Aubyn? Why doesn't she just stick to picking people's pockets in the open then? I'd say there's some reason that she's not letting on, judging from her demeanor. Are they working together? So anyways, I was a bit scared, but I had to just stick it out under there. Nothing else for it. Okay. Then, after a while, I hear this loud bang. Nearly jumped out my skin, I did. And the scream just came out. Okay. When you say a loud bang, do you mean the noise of someone falling to the floor? What if her gun went off? She has like a smoke gun. Could have been, I suppose. I don't remember so well. Point is, it made me jump. And you let out a scream involuntarily? So hers was the first scream? That's right. And then I felt the cushion over me head get lighter all of a sudden. Presumably when the defendant got up in order to help the victim, yes. Or not. It could equally have been the moment the accused stood in order to stab his victim, could it not? Well, girl, did you see what happened at that crucial moment? Yeah, I saw it. Oh, she did. What did she see? I pushed up the cushion and had a quick butcher's while I had the chance, didn't I? The Irishman was sitting up the bloke and the Irishman was sitting up the bloke what had fallen on the floor on the seat opposite. There we go. That matches Mr. McGilda's account, of course. But then, the fella suddenly turns around and looks right at me. I sunk back down again, but it was too late by then. I should never have risked looking. Okay. Okay, last one to press. It's because of that the swell found me. He did help me get away, mind. Okay. When Mr. McGilda discovered you, he pulled you out from your hiding place? I was scared stiff, I was. He dragged me out and sat me down on the seat and all. Next to the victim, Mr. Mason? Yeah, the bloke had a knife in his guts. He was still bleeding. Then the carriage lurched a bit, and he ended up falling onto me. What? How awful. Both me hands got covered in blood. It made me feel sick as a dog. Oh, both her hands covered in blood. That must be what the rooftop passengers saw. Yeah. After that, I believe you talked with Mr. McGilda for a while, is that correct? He asked me some stuff. I'm watching you. Wanted to know my name and what I was up to and that. Then I heard something from up above. Someone screamed. Yes, Mr. First on the roof deck, one would presume. Well, I didn't want no one seeing my face, so I didn't look up. Then the horses were drawn up, smartish, and this here Irishman says to me, "Get back under the seat. I'll see that you can get away later." Oh, she goes back into the compartment. All 6 members of the jury had decided the defendant was innocent. For one brief shining moment, yes. It's clear that they are all still very unsure. If we could just find some conclusive piece of evidence among this new testimony, I'm sure we would clinch the verdict we want. Yes, I think you're right, and I have this niggling feeling. Something's bothering me, but I just can't quite put my finger on it. Weird. Oh, something happened.
Excuse me.
What does he have to say about that? Is something wrong, Mr. McGilden? Oh, I do apologize. Was there something the matter, counsel? I'm just wondering if Miss Lestrade's last comment made something occur to you, perhaps. You seem to be thinking something to yourself. Oh, no. 'Twas nothing important. I was feeling bad for the poor lass is all. I remember feeling desperate myself as a young lad, shut up in the dark. 'Twas terrifying, so it was. I see, yes, I'm sure we can all sympathize. I'm still scared of the dark now. Aye, and I don't know about yourself, but I find that the darkness seems to make everything here seem that much louder as well. Okay. This is suspicious. I suppose it does, maybe. Miss Lestrade! Did you hear something that night? Anything? An unusual noise, perhaps? What happened? Nah, not really. All I could hear was the Irishman snoring. Bejabbers! There's no need to tell the whole world of me foibles, you little scamp. They must have had a conversation that she heard. If only Miss Lestrade had heard something, it might have given us a vital new clue. Yeah, what should we make of that last statement of hers? It's profoundly important. My lord, I believe the statement just made by the witness is profoundly important. Profoundly important, but all she said was that she heard nothing. Yes, which is a profoundly important point. I'm almost sure of it. I'm almost sure that I don't understand the inner workings of your Eastern Mind Council. Nevertheless, Miss Gina Lestrade, you will supplement your formal testimony by repeating that last statement, please. What? Supplement? What are you on about? Don't give me all your fancy talk. I know what you're trying to do. Well, it won't work on me. That's right. Insult the judge. Always a good move. I was straining my ears to work out what was going on, but all I could hear was snoring. Then, after a while, I hear this loud bang. Should we press that then?
Hold it!
Yeah, let's press it. I don't know. So, you were straining to hear what was happening the entire time, since the moment you hid yourself? Not exactly, no. Sorry? Well, there was no one in the cabin to start with. I could just push the cushion up and have a butcher's seat to see what was what. But then, when I saw this swell getting on, I got me head down so he didn't notice me. And Mr. McGilden sat on the seat under which you were hiding, correct? Yeah, would you Adam and Eve it, eh? What a mug. So then all I could do was listen. I was waiting to jump out there as soon as I heard him leave, see? But would he? Not likely. Even though we stopped here and in there, I never heard the door open. She never heard the door open. So I just had to stay put and listen to him driving his pigs to market, snoring like an old dog he was. Wait, that's weird. Are there any conclusions we can draw from that? Yeah, it doesn't add up because she didn't hear the door open? Well, you just told the court. It's clearly at odds with the facts. At odds? Are you sure, men? Yeah, absolutely. It seems my learned Nipponese friend is not as dull-witted as I feared. Oh, wait. So Van Zeek's realized it too. Nice, okay, so we're on the right track, right? Counsel, I must insist that you bolster your claim with evidence, or some complicit party's name at the very least. Yes. I expect you to demonstrate this alleged contradiction to the court. According to Miss Lestrade, while she was hiding in the omnibus that night, she heard nothing but the sound of Mr. McGilden snoring. But think, Ryunosuke. There's something else she should have heard. Show a person? Very well, my lord. Allow me to elaborate on a particular sound that Miss Lestrade could not have failed to hear on the night in question. The sound very clearly explained by the presence of the following person. Has to be him, right? Let's try it.
Take that!
Thrice-fired mason? Yeah, like, yes, my lord. The sound that Miss Lestrade cannot have failed to hear is that of the victim, Mr. Mason, boarding the omnibus. Okay, nice. Okay, good, good. We're on the right track. On the right track. Order, order. Explain your reasoning, counsel. Miss Lestrade, allow me to confirm something. You claimed earlier that you were the first person on board the omnibus, is that correct? Yeah, of course I was. I got on while the driver was in the pub, didn't I? And the next person to board the omnibus was Mr. McGilden? That I was. Not a soul was in the cabin when I climbed aboard. At least not in plain sight. So you were, to all intents and purposes, alone in the enclosed cabin of the omnibus at that time? Did I not just say as much? I wasn't traveling with anyone else, if that's what you mean. What? Okay, your story is not making sense. Yeah, I saw him get on, remember? Through the crack under the seat cushion? He was on his own for sure. And from what we've heard, the carriage made a number of stops after that on its onward journey, during which time did you not hear the door opening or closing at all? Nah, I never heard it. That's exactly what I was listening for, weren't I? Waiting for this swell to leave? In which case, when and how did the victim end up in the carriage? What? Maybe through the skylight? We know that the victim collapsed inside the enclosed cabin of the omnibus. Therefore, maybe he was stabbed on top of the omnibus and fell through the skylight. Miss Lestrade's statement about what she did or did not hear is at odds with the facts. Yeah. Yes, this petty thief's statement was clearly flawed. Lord Van Zieks. He knew all too well that there was an inconsistency in Miss Lestrade's statement. It would seem words of thanks are in order for my learned friend. Oh, what are you talking about? You have demonstrated matters impeccably. Wow, what a nice compliment. This witness and her colorful statements are entirely unreliable. Her words are convenient untruths, nothing more. Ladies. Oh my god. Possibly not have boarded the— oh, that makes no sense whatsoever. And this girl is a pickpocket. Let's not forget that. No, lady, don't do it! No, old lady! Oh my gosh, this is getting convoluted again. She didn't even say anything. I didn't want to judge the dear little mite just because she has some rather naughty ways, but I must say, I can't abide liars. Oh, and neither can I. Oh shoot. I didn't want to judge the girl just because she has some less than salubrious ways. But I must say, I cannot abide liars. Oh no. Oh shit. Ugh. Mr. Naruhodo, the 5 jury members leaning towards guilty. Well, your consideration for others is refreshing, my Nipponese friend. To the considerable troubles you have spared me. He's just like, you did all the work for me, so thank you. Yes, very refreshing. Oh, shit. What are you playing at? Have you forgotten who you're working for, you useless Eastern Amadan? Ugh, this carnage, it's perfect. No, don't do it. Juror number 2 is the only one left. Mr. Naruhodo, the way this is going, I know, if we can't find some new way to convince everyone of Mr. McGilda's innocence, the judge will rule and we'll have lost. I very much wanted to believe the words of one of London's most respected gentlemen, but those of us in service know we must accept hard truths. Don't do it! Okay. Yes, the witness's last statement seems to have revealed a critical inconsistency in her story. However, if we consider the possibility that her statement is in fact the truth, it may shed an entirely new light on this whole case. What are you saying? Counsel! I'm sorry, sir. Whatever do you mean? Counsel, I will not tolerate you attempting to prorogue my adjudication. Explain yourself at once. When the accused boarded the omnibus on the night in question, the victim was nowhere to be seen. Subsequently, The carriage door was not heard opening a single time, as testified by the witness in the stand. And yet the victim's body was found inside the carriage? If this petty thief's words are to be believed, how do you explain the victim's miraculous appearance inside the cabin of the omnibus? Yeah, we got this. It was through the skylight. It has to be. There's only one way to explain how the victim came to be inside the carriage. There's another entrance. If the door wasn't opened even once, the only explanation is that the victim entered the enclosed cabin some other way. Oh shit. Oh, this is getting so intense. I wondered what new fantasy you would come up with in your blind panic. But behold, the omnibus is here for all to see. Only one side of the enclosed cabin is furnished with a door, the other has only windows. Fixed windows which cannot possibly open. In short, there's no entrance to the cabin other than the door. Nice. Yes! Slam your hand down. That's right. But there could be. There's one possibility you haven't considered. Oh, really? Yes, one other way inside that isn't the door. Another opening. Let's just keep, like, circling around and not saying what exactly we're talking about. Another opening, the use of which allowed the cabin to appear inside the enclosed cabin. Nice, nice. All right, counsel. The defense will identify the location for the court. Here's the omnibus on which the incident occurred. Where on earth is this entrance by which you propose the victim entered the cabin? The skylight. Wait, no, it's not even highlighting. Shit. Or maybe that's fine. Okay.
Take that!
The answer is obvious. It can only have been the skylight. I say, the skylight?
Objection!
Oh shit. Your ludicrous proposal almost has me lost for words, however.
Objection!
The skylight may well be large enough for someone to pass through.
Objection!
So you claim. But do you have a shred of evidence to support your addled-brained theory? Oh shit. Both Mr. McGilded and Miss Lestrade said the same in their testimonies. They each claimed to have heard a loud thud, such as the noise made by someone falling to the floor. Yes, which has already been explained, as the sound of the victim falling from his seat having been assaulted with a dagger. Yes, it has, but would a man slipping from the seat onto the floor really have made such a loud noise as the witnesses describe? A noise loud enough to cause Miss Lestrade to let out an involuntary cry, in fact? Good gracious! Perhaps, in fact, that was the moment that the victim made his entrance into the cabin. No, let me rephrase that. The victim didn't enter the cabin as such. He fell into it.
Objection!
Oh my god. You're now suggesting that the victim fell from the skylight into the cabin? That's exactly what we're saying. That's simply impossible. How can you be so sure? Because if the victim had fallen inside the skylight as you say, the passengers on the roof deck would have seen it happen. It's because they're hiding it. And yet not one person made mention of such events in their testimony. Well, yes, that's true, but... Wait, what? Might a humble fella make a wee comment here? I guess we'll wait until the next episode. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know if you like it. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more content, and I will see you in the next episode. Thanks. Bye, guys.